Alright, walking through this beautiful plaza here, right in front of my hotel. So looking back in this direction, this is the Hotel Unirea. And going to be getting down to the main boulevard over here on the corner and heading diagonally through the heart of Yash to all the major city monuments. This reminds me a ton of the Ukraine. So definitely has vibes of Košice, it also has vibes of Kiev. So pretty interesting place, totally unexpected. So you can see the boulevard starts off pretty uninspiring, but it's going to get a lot better about 500 meters up the road. Tons of green space here for being an old communist concrete block city. Definitely have beautified it since the 1980s. So this beautiful church with 4 domes is the Metropolitan Cathedral, which is an Eastern Orthodox cathedral, which is the predominant version of Christianity in this area. And you can see the old meets the new-ish. So it's really unusual to see such a beautiful church next to these crumbling old communist relics pretty much everywhere. Tons of communist architecture left behind from Ceausescu's reign all around Yash. I mean, there's so many of them that you'd have to raze them to the ground, which would not necessarily be economically viable, but they are an eyesore. It's just interesting to see such decrepit architecture right next to such beautiful architecture in the form of this Metropolitan Cathedral. Really cool. Kind of depressing. Yash is definitely a better city than I would have expected it to be. I didn't know anything about it. Didn't even really hear about it before coming here. So it has a lot of growing to do, I suppose, to gain the notoriety of some other smaller regional capitals. But as Romania's second largest city, yeah, I probably wouldn't have won this question on a trivia contest. Anyway, going to be heading down now towards the Palace of Culture, which is not too far away, just about half a kilometer at this point. It's about 6:30 p.m., so the streets are winding down. I'm not sure about safety. It looks relatively family friendly right now. But again, that can change pretty quickly, especially when you see signs of graffiti everywhere. Definitely feels like Košice in many ways. I'm walking right there towards the Palace of Culture in the distance, which is the highlight of Yash. And if you look down in this direction, that is the National Theatre off in the distance. It looks like there's also a little open air market there, souvenir stalls. Yeah, this is the City Hall. Small little park. Can't really see the City Hall through the trees, but it's there. It's some beautiful flowered landscaping. And a statue of Ferdinand. This reminds me a ton of the architecture that I encountered while I was touring Odessa, Ukraine in October of last year, which I have logs up if you want to check them out. Yeah, this is the Yash City Hall. And so many of these beautiful flower arrangements, little gardens that front the boulevard, which is now becoming pedestrianized as we get closer to the Palace of Culture down the street. And that is looking back over to the Metropolitan Cathedral of the Romanian Orthodox Church right there. And here is the very impressive Three Hierarchs Monastery. It's definitely the perfect lighting right now in the late evening. All right, heading over to the Palace of Culture. Inside, you'll find 4 museums, I believe, random museums. And it is a historical structure here in Yash that they have repurposed into museums. Definitely ornate. Again, the city reminds me so much of Odessa, Ukraine. It's not even funny. Here's another monastery at the edge of the Palace of Culture. So a monument to the Communist Revolution of 1989, where the brutal dictator Ceausescu was dethroned and Romania sought its independence just like the Soviet Union did at the same time. Absolutely beautiful. Biserica. Yeah, beautiful place though, wow. You check out the detail on these. You see so many different Orthodox images with the characteristic Romanian version of an onion dome on the very top. So the palace is actually on the old medieval court from the Kingdom of Moldavia back in 1434. So definitely a ton of history. So during the communist era, this was used as the courts, basically, the Ministry of Justice. So it was turned into the museums after the fall of communism. So pretty interesting history. Again, it goes back all the way to the 1400s during the earliest of kingdoms here in Romania. Definitely impressed with this city. I had really known nothing about Yash. Never even heard of it really, apart from, maybe noticing it and then immediately forgetting it on a map. So this is definitely one of Romania's treasures, and if you ever find yourself in the northeastern corner of the country, make sure you come to Yash to check out the Palace of Culture. So it definitely has a ton of beautiful detail. You can see some of the sculptures that adorn the edifice and the clock tower. And looking over here is the Palace Mall. So for better or for worse, they've created one of the city's major malls right next to the Palace of Culture. That probably would not have been the decision that I would have made if that was in my hands, but right next to this historic palace, you'll find the local mega mall. So I had really expected this to be much more drab and boring and a bit more communist in form, but absolutely incredible palace. It's actually hard to look away from. But I'm going to kind of do the carnal sin and go attend the mall for a few minutes and see what I can pick up for dinner slash snack slash entertainment, whatever might be inside. I'm just morbidly curious what was so important to put it right next to this. So yeah, for better or for worse, it is what it is. Mega mall right next to history. Reminds me of that Joni Mitchell song, Big Yellow Taxi. And Starbucks by the looks of it. Alright, it is massive as you can see. Ooh. I was reading online just how massive this place actually is, so. So I'm back here at the Palace of Culture. It is definitely getting dark at this point. We're pushing 9 o'clock in the evening, so did have a nice time looking around the downtown core. There's definitely a lot of charm and character here in Yash. But I'm probably going to be heading back to the hotel now. My phone died, so I'm not able to call an Uber. And I'm not sure about carrying all the camera gear past dark. I don't know this city very well, so probably need to head back sooner than later. Yeah, definitely a very enchanting medieval city. Absolutely gorgeous. On my way back now up the boulevard towards my hotel, which is, again, I can see it, the red letters there in the distance. You can look closely, but I'm headed there for the night at this point. It's just getting too late and pretty much there's nothing else to do at this hour, so I'm gonna call it an early night. I'm kind of jet lagged anyway, and yeah, see where the road takes me tomorrow. I'm not sure if I'm gonna be staying in Yash for a bit more. So it's a 1.2 kilometer walk back to the hotel from here. Not too bad. Gonna go check out some of the stalls here, maybe get a bite to eat for the night. So you can see the city hall is now lit up with the colors of the Romanian flag at night. Definitely a chill place. It is a truly gorgeous city. So, if you ever see Yash on a map, do not skip over it. Give this place a visit, second largest city in Romania. Beautifully ornate theater here in Yash, absolutely gorgeous. This totally reminds me of the Koshitsa Opera House. If you scroll back to that vlog. Definitely an enchanting city though. Very cool. Alright, I'm back down here at the Hotel Unirea. It's a nice walk. Pretty short. About 10 to 15 minutes. Sauntering my way back. Definitely a great location if you're in the area. This one comes highly recommended too. The Grand Hotel Triana. So take your pick. But $70 Canadian, about 50 bucks plus tax US dollars per night. So very inexpensive for city center. I'm quickly realizing those Romanian roots with Italy are really coming out. There's pizza everywhere. This is a bit more upscale for what I'm looking for tonight, so I just want to grab and go. Not too much going on down there. Definitely an entertainment district. Some beautiful architecture in these parts though. But I think I'm just gonna probably get room service from the hotel tonight. There's not a lot in the way of fast food around here, unfortunately. Yeah, it's definitely bustling even at almost 10 o'clock at night. There's so many people out enjoying the summer vibes. All right, home sweet home. And it's still warm. Oh my goodness. I wish this AC would work. And that was very unexpected, especially given the rate, but they've delivered an entire bottle of wine. I'm not sure what they think I am in terms of a drinker, but oh my goodness. An entire bottle of wine on the house for a $50 a night hotel room and a stacked mini bar. Almost too good to be true. I love Eastern European hotels for that reason. Let's take a look outside here onto the plaza below. Beautiful night in, what's this place called again? Aish. No, Aish, no. It is a beautiful night in Yash.